Remember the rain from earlier? Guess what? After 2 hours, the rain has stopped. The track is looking dry, and here's the best part: it's actually clearing up over across the beach into turn three and into turn one. So we're finally going to get this second duel race underway. Now, some things to remind you from Duel 1, we have one car confirmed to go to a backup due to being part of a last lap incident. That was the 19 of Caleb Hoffman being sent into the grass, into the inside wall after a 4-wide incident gone wrong. So, Duel 2, same principle, 17 cars, 5 laps. Menard Cup Series initially was supposed to be on the front row, but got into an accident Wednesday afternoon that damaged his car during the pack drafting yesterday. Him, the 6, Peyton Beasley, and the 95 is Zachary Lombard all will be going to backups for Sunday, so the backup total will be up to 4, and hopefully it'll stay that way at the end of these 5 laps. But typically in history, these second duel races get pretty wild. While we're here, let's take a look at your starting lineups as we look in the bottom of your screen. In row 1, we have the Menards Ford and the Gear End Chevrolet. In row 2, we have the FedEx Express Toyota and the Hassan Nation Chevrolet. By the way, the rest of the Stewart-Haas cars will be Chevys, obviously with the exception of the 14, until I can find the rest of the Stewart-Haas cars. Then I'll switch them all to Fords. Beginning from row 3, we have the Liberty University Chevrolet and the Credit One Bank Chevrolet. Daytona 500 winner WB Network, sporting Auto Owners colors is the main sponsor for this year. Furniture Row taking a 12 race backdrop to Auto Owners is 24. In row 5, we have the Performance Plus Ford and the Jimmy John's Chevrolet. Starting today from row 6, we have the Hot Wheels Chevrolet and the Motorcraft Ford. Row 7 finds the 25 car and the Nature's Bakery Chevrolet. Row 8 finds the Napa Auto Parts Toyota and the Procore Chevrolet. And starting today from the rear of the field, we have the 55 car. Again, 5 laps. A lot of concern is how loose these cars have been. So how do you think people are going to push in this race? Could we see a possibility of some wrecks? Bloody likely. Pace car is off. Menards Cup Series, Grace and Alcevedo are going to bring the field down for the start of the second duel. Inside, watch the 78, watch 78. All right, inside. At 48, 29, pushing you, 29, pushing you. Stay at 42, 78's going to give you a nice bump. 48 making the third lane on the outside 3. Outside 3, you are clear everywhere. You are clear down low, clear low, clear down, down. All right, down. A lot harder to figure out who got out to that early lead, but it looks like Menards Cup Series looks to stake his claim for that spot right here with a push from the 11. And coming to lead the first lap, and it took very long. Didn't take long at all for these guys to already start going 3 wide. You're on board the 24. You can see 78's pushing him really hard right here. And the problem is, you get to one particular side, you tip a car, and you get a car loose, and it causes a big wreck. And you watch the front bumper of that 78, you can see him really start to try not to lay into him too much. WB Network, who won the Daytona 500 after a basically 6-hour rain delay to start it, he says he has a fast car Sunday. He looks to show it. Oh, it right here. All 17 cars in one blanket. And right now, you think these guys are riding around? Well, if you're up front, in a weird way, you kind of are. Kind of are, especially if you're the 11 or the 12. But if you're anywhere in the 5 rows behind of 2 and 3 wide, 6, you're on pins and needles, especially when you get down to where the 78 car is. See the top 2 go to the top to try to block a run from the 1. Oh, going loose. In trouble. Down. 3 cars punched into the outside wall in turn 1. 1 car tries to save it. That is Hunter Miller in the 24, Peyton Beasley in the 6. And M&M's Cup Series in the 29 with Derek Lewis spinning down to the bottom as the caution comes out. Everybody slid down the embankment with all 3 cars stuck together. 42 spun on the apron, but got back going. He's back in line, but it's a lot of damage. 78 involved. Nate Sherman may have gotten a piece of that as well. Don't think I saw him get much damage there that time, but he did get damaged. Remember what we were talking about during the pre-race and the delay for Duel 2? Yep. That kind of racing wasn't gonna last that long. And that the second duels are typically more aggressive than the first ones. Peyton Beasley climbing out. Hunter Miller, who is coming off one of his worst seasons on record in this series, climbs out. Derek Lewis is the only car in that 4-car jam session, that Eck down there, that is still running. He only got rear end clip damage. Like I said, the 78 is getting a little too aggressive with pushing that 24 to move him along. And the wreck just wiped a bunch of people out. So, really tough go for Peyton Beasley as his team actually is scrambling right now to try to find a backup for the team come Sunday. They're trying to find to put together a third backup car. I mean, nice thing here is Florida's a lot closer to Charlotte, and with a possible rumor that the All-Star race in Brighton could be moved to a Friday night. There could be that strong possibility. I'm that extra concern because these races, they get a little chippy and a little too aggressive at times. If you remember back to the Wednesday accident, there's an issue mid-pack that involved our pole sitter and a whole host of other drivers. There were other cars involved, however, they were able to get repairs done to their cars, and some of them actually drove better than in the dual race earlier today. All I know is Menard's Cup Series and his backup, since he was one of the cars that took a pretty heavy brunt in that incident, is actually pretty fast. Restart. Anyways, getting ready for the restart here with 3 to go. Here we go. 3 laps to settle it at Daytona in Gatorade Duel 2. And you thought it was going to be big, crazy now. Watch some of this racing that's going to be going down. Already some 3 wide at the back. Towards the back, but up front, still a dead heat here down, coming off turn 2 and down the backstretch. The entire field coming straight at them. Hunter Mill, Zachary Lombard, Derek Lewis pushing each other. Derek Lewis is the only other Colorado native in this series. Working together with that 95. You could get up there. How about this? Zachary Lombard. Possible surprise for the 500. Whoa. Almost a big moment off of 4 for the 1 car. As in, that nearly turned into a big wreck. 2 to go. Rizzoni up top. To the 11. Everybody continuing to shove. This could get ugly. Remember, we got to make it to the white for this race to be official. Oh, no. Around they go on the backstretch again. This time it's Nate Sherman sliding through the infield. Caution comes back out. We couldn't make it back around in one piece. And now we have another car spinning. Luckily, Nate Sherman is driving his car. However, he may have a lot of nose damage, it looks like. After that little skirmish out of that pack. Yeah, 56. Something happened behind that got you loose and sent you to 56. Wasn't anybody's clear fault. So out of all this, Xavier Sodreska in the 21 escaped the chaos. He hasn't even gotten a win with the 21, and he's about to possibly skyrocket his qualifying spot for the Daytona 500. He was supposed to qualify 23rd, but a win very well could put him up in the top 10. And take Hunter Miller out of that 10th spot. But it ain't going to matter because Hunter Miller's going to a backup for Sunday. Jessica Shelton taking her car to pit road. The 42. Damage to her machine following the spin. She will be starting at the back. Now, here are some new overtime rules this season. The overtime rule is no longer on the backstretch. It's at the start-finish line. And as usual, we get as many attempts as possible. This is done to ensure a green flag finish. This will be done at all points-paying races this season. Start-finish line will be clear at the start-finish line. So for some of our longer road races, like Montreal being added, the overtime line would have originally been out in turn 10 by the hairpin, as an example. And Bowling Gray's overtime line initially was right between 3 and 4. So a lot of the bang-up races would have taken about 8 or 9 overtimes. And luckily, this past year it didn't. But, got to be prepared. Overtime, attempt number 1. The lights are going to come on and the sparks are going to come out. Menards Cup Series with a huge push from the 12. Menards Cup Series in the 12 car, pushing the 21 through 1 and 2. He could very well be out to a lead, but the question is, will the 11 car pounce? And he might. And he timed it wrong. Into the wall goes the 21. Caution comes back out again. We will have another restart and possibly a 5th car to the list of backups for Sunday's race. One, two, three. 6. So 8 cars are confirmed to go to backups for Sunday. Half of them are coming from this race. One of them is getting a 3rd car out and is being delivered as we speak. Last time we were hearing from Roush's Twitter page, So after that little mix-up, overtime number 2. Could there be possible tire smoke in the 11 after that contact? Mike Wheeler told SportsCenter Cup Series, stay out. Here we go. Overtime number 2 at Daytona. This time, WB Network straight to the bumper of his Joe Gibbs teammate. And you had 2 Toyotas pushing each other here. Yeah, they caught on quick. Yeah, I think they caught on pretty quick, don't you think? Down the backstretch we go. The age of the 2-car tandem is back. Right here. Now at this point, you do not care who you push. You just hope to push and hopefully if you're lucky enough, make the right move at the end. Out of turn 4, we're going to see the white flag in hand. Last ditch effort here at Daytona to possibly improve your starting position. Pack is bunching up together here. Here comes Menard's Cup Series with a crazy dive to the inside with 41. And a crazy 3-wide pack at the back. This is the possibility to get real wild here. Between these cars and between the remaining groups of people on the racetrack. SportsCenter Cup Series has never won a race here at Daytona. Can he get there? Menard's Cup Series looks high. Oh, hard into the outside wall. Hard into the wall goes the 11. He spins around. Several cars scattering everywhere here. Here to miss it. And SportsCenter Cup Series gets plowed into. As they wreck coming off of 4. Coming to the line. Menard's Cup Series will win it. There's a huge wreck that developed behind them. Menard's Cup Series being turned full speed, 200 miles an hour into the wall in front of a massive pack of cars. Jessica Shelton's involved. Nate Sherman's involved. Blake Dillon's involved. Chris Washer's involved. He's sitting up against the wall. Blake Dillon notably was the car that drove under the 11. And sent him to collect those other 3 cars. Menard's Cup Series in a last lap move won this race. However, due to an accident on Wednesday in practice, he will not keep his front row spot. He will still go to a backup, so this means the 1 car will be on the front row for the Great American Race Sunday afternoon. Joining Apollo Moon on the inside. He won the pole with that blistering lap back on Sunday. So this means, judging by the way these guys have been racing in practice sessions all week, precursor for Sunday? Oh, yeah. Menards Cup Series has won amid moving the 11 and about 8 cars going to backups. 4 of them in this session of this race alone. It's going to be, 7 of them in this race alone. One of them will be going to a backup in Duel 1. That was Caleb Hoffman. So 7 cars are going to be starting at the rear of the field come Sunday. That'll be fun. Daytona 500 coverage begins at 10 a.m. and then at noon, 10 a.m. Eastern with a special NASCAR race day. Then at 12:30 p.m. Eastern be a 90-minute long Pizza Hut pre-race show. Then at 2 p.m. Eastern will be the telecast of the Daytona 500 presented by Pizza Hut. Well, it's been a long day here at Daytona as it turns into night here. Menards Cup Series won a wild duel race, and earlier today, KFC Cup Series won his duel. KFC Cup Series will now be starting 6th on Sunday. Menards Cup Series, while initially supposed to start 2nd, will be starting 32nd come Sunday due to him being involved in a crash on Wednesday. Coming up next on the East Coast here on FX is going to be Hotel Transylvania 2, and on the West Coast is paid programming. Coming up next on Fox is late local news, followed by Thursday night football between 2 West Coast teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the Oakland Raiders. So long from Daytona.